Hello, hi, good morning everyone. The Minister Donor has arrived, so we'll be starting the program shortly. Requesting everyone to please remain seated or find a seat.
Good morning. Welcome to everybody. Let me start by welcoming our Honorable Minister of State, Donor Ministry, Government of India, Dr. Shukantu Majumdar, Mr. Chanchal Kumar from Secretary of the same ministry, and also we have Mr. Inderdeep Singh Dariwal, Joint Secretary from Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Many corporates are here. We know that one of the things we want to do was to connect corporates to initiatives in Northeast. Mr. Pradeep Bagla, our chairman of Northeast Council, and Sujit, who works very, very hard for this initiative on Northeast. Really, give them a big round of applause. They've got a busy schedule. Distinguished friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, really delighted to be here, and I want to extend a very warm welcome to all of you and dignitaries on the dais. Really have taken the time to sort of motivate us to work on Northeast. I will not be long. The reason is Minister has to go. I've asked him to even walk through the exhibition even briefly, so I would want to save time here to give him a quick tour of that, because so many people have put so much effort. The thing we can do is to motivate. So let me start by saying, sir, your presence here is great motivation for us. What we need from government is motivation. Everybody else will join hands to build Northeast, looking at the challenges of Northeast. Your commitment to the region has been really, really important for uplifting, at least seeing what pathway we need to do. And basically, I just want to highlight on our initiative here. This Northeast Connect is an initiative which we launched to engage 3 entities, which is government, industry, and NGOs, to work towards socio-economic development. And we are sensitizing the industries not all over India to develop Northeast region, and we are advocating industries to not just to go there, but also help in upgrading several of the elements, including skills, education, health, and the support from government has been fantastic in terms of logistic improvement, which we've seen great amount of improvement in the last few years. The CSR legislation which has come from Ministry of Corporate Affairs has really helped us, because this has really made many of the corporates embrace the aspirational districts, and also districts which need more attention from us, including Northeast. And this has led to fundamentally companies embracing several areas, but we want more companies to do. What this CSR Connect with Northeast is supposed to do is to connect entities which are working already in Northeast to corporates who want to work there, so that they don't have to start afresh. Many of them say that we don't have any ground connect. So the ground connect with entities who want to sort of work there is what we are trying to do here. And really, I think this is a collective responsibility for all of us, and presence of so many diverse stakeholders really will, I think, go in a way to sort of keep pushing the agenda forward. And really, I just want to say, let us commit our discussions today. And Minister is going to speak, and then everybody will speak in the inaugural session. But I think more importantly, our work today has to be to make actionable plan. What really will be purposeful for us is at the end of this, even if 10 actionable plans come, if 10 commitments come out of the 100 corporates, I think we would have achieved a great reach. Little steps make a big flood. So I just want to say that I really want to thank all of you for your presence and commitment, and thank you so much. So firstly, let me ask our Minister, he has to leave for the Parliament, but can we release the compendium, sir, as a first starting point? This is case studies on social projects being done by corporates in NGOs, Northeast, and details of priority areas for the sector. So may I now request for your opening remarks, and we will motivate the entire team here.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and first of all, good morning and namaste, namaskar to all of you. The dignitaries present here, Sri Chanchal Kumar, Secretary Donor, Sri Dhariwal ji, Sri Mukund ji, the Vice President of CII, Sri Pradeep Bagla, Chairman CII Northeast Council, Mr. Sujit Haridas, who went to my residence to invite me along with the others. Ladies and gentlemen, and once again namaskar to all of you. I am glad to be a part of the first edition of North East CSR Connect. Thank you CII for this unique initiative. I am sure this will help in bridging the gap between the government, corporate sector, and as well as the NGOs for Northeast socio-economic development through impactful partnership and project implementation. Under the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, the development of northeastern state has become an important priority of our government. Augmented focus on the Ashta Lakshmis, that is the 8 states, those are included in this donor ministry, have resulted in bringing remarkable progress and prosperity on various fronts. I sincerely hope that the northeastern state will become India's next growth center in near future. The Prime Minister's visions and mission for the development of the Northeast has been further strengthened with the call Vikshit Bharat, Vikshit Northeast. The last decade has witnessed substantial financial infusion by the non-exempted central ministries in the region. The central ministry departments or the ministries or the department are required to spend 10% of their gross budgetary support in the northeastern region, not only through their ongoing scheme, but also through dedicated scheme for the northeastern region. In the last 10 years, more than 5 lakh crores have been spent in this region for infrastructural development. Also, for the first time, more than 1 lakh crores were spent on the development in a single year, that is 2023-2024. To accelerate development and maximize project efficiency, each northeastern state is visited by a union minister every 15 days, and this will continue, I hope. Its mission is to univocally ensure that the benefits of central government scheme should reach to every citizen in this region. Keeping in the mind the Honorable Prime Minister's clarion call, vocal for local and local to global, a tourism development task force has been established to showcase the immense potential of Northeast, not just locally, but globally. The various developmental activities in the region are taking forward PM Sri Narendra Modi ji's vision of Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat. As part of NEC Vision Plan 2047, the government is committed towards ensuring self-sufficient, sustainable and progressive development in the NER. This can be achieved through a series of strategic measures and bold initiatives, and the government is committed towards a transformative journey that promises to reshape the landscape of our society and economy. The steadfast commitment of bolstering infrastructure, enhancing connectivity, and fostering socio-economic development across the northeastern state underscore government's dedication towards uplifting the lives of its citizens and fostering regional prosperity. Act East policy has provided the desirable impetus on enhanced economic and cultural ties, further strengthen strategic relationship with the neighbors in Southeast Asia. Bilateral cooperation with Bangladesh has opened up lot of avenues for the industry to do business in the region by using Chittagong port. The Akhrura-Agartala new rail line project is set to significantly enhance the regional connectivity and bilateral ties between India and Bangladesh. I am sure that our industry will use this gateway to infuse more investment to the Northeast and for enhance the socio-economic development of this region. Friends, the Prime Minister has recently launched a new industrial development scheme for Northeast, the Unnati. The scheme will strengthen the industrial ecosystem in the Northeast region, attract new investment, helps to set up new manufacturing and services units to give a fresh thrust to job creation, skill development, and sustainable development. This scheme, worth rupees 10,000 crore, is fully funded by the Government of India and covers all 8 northeastern states. This scheme will provide incentives for capital investment, interest subvention, and manufacturing and services linked incentive to the approved units. To promote trade and investment in NER, a total of 82 MOUs are signed between the states and investor, which amounted to more than rupees 30,000 crore. The rich natural resources, biological diversity, and the strategic location of NER provide a huge opportunity for industry to invest their corporate social responsibility, that is CSR, spending in the northeastern region and become partners in the developmental journey of this region. I call upon my friends from the industry to grab this opportunity and bring changes and accelerate development in this region. I am sure this platform will be a strong launchpad for making the vision of Vikshit Bharat and Vikshit Northeast a reality. I thank once again all of you for inviting me, and once again namaskar to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for those motivating words and the words of support and the words of encouragement, and also a great amount of work which has been done and more to be done by all of us, including the fact that you mentioned every minister is visiting once in 15 days. That's a kind of the commitment, time commitment people are showing to Northeast. That is really, really motivating for all of us. I think my suggestion would be that all the people here, please stay in the room. I am going to invite Sri Inderdeep Singh Dariwal to give his remarks. In the meantime, I will escort the minister quickly. He has another, Parliament is in session. It's one of those difficult times. He's really found time during this where his time is really under pressure to be with us. That shows his commitment. Please give him a big round of applause as he thank you so much, sir.
Good morning to you. I'm really privileged to be in this conclave and to address to you. And basically, I'm adding here a Ministry of Corporates view in the input to the Northeastern development and the role of CSR. I've been talking on this aspects in the Northeast also and other meetings that is related to CSR inflow in the Northeast also. The social responsibility of a corporate is a not new concept in India. It's even when if you go to the ancient India times, it always was there. It was even prior to the government. Even the edicts are all considered to be historical evidences. And if we look for that, even in Ashok's time, the rock edicts were primarily written by Shettis or Chettis. They are the entrepreneurs of that time. So this is the simple concept of economy, that in a trade or in economic activities, it is basically transformation in that the interest of an entrepreneur is to reduce or minimize the cost so that the profit maximizes. The reduction of the cost basically has its after effects on society and environment because those get neglected. This is why if you are a successful entrepreneur, it was seen in that perspective that working for environment and society is your responsibility. And India has been working on this, and we had good amount of evidences that with the progress of history, we always had corporates working for social and environmental cause. And India is the first country to bring this responsibility through legislation. Otherwise, philanthropy is there. All around the world, corporates are spending for the social cause. India is a country, and still there are only few countries those have a legislative support and structure that enforces that the corporate, those are successful, those are earning profit, have an obligation to spend towards a corporate social responsibility. I would like to add this particular thing, another dimension that, it is not merely a spend, it is not merely a monetary activity, it is an emotional connect. So if you're doing anything good to anyone, suppose even for the animal or even for you considered downtrodden or even a bad corner, if you clean that particular thing, you get connected with that. You like that particular element to flourish, to improve, to look good and get reflected in the society. The same thing is here. It might be what goes in the social corporate responsibilities could be pittance. But this is a seed only, which will build a relationship. It is something like engagement. If it is good, it will turn into a marriage and then the life ahead. It doesn't stop at the one point in time. It goes over the period of time. And we need to build this up. And this is what is expected is, in the Northeast especially, is an infrastructure that is a one limitation. For pretty long time, Northeast was a disconnect as far as the physical connection is connect. There's only one airport, there's only one railhead, and there's the same way about all other communication channels. If you want to access anything on an instant basis, that was not very easy. But during last 10 years or so, things have changed. And in last 5 years, definitely, there is a very progress is geometric. And almost all dimensions are increasing. We also believe that there is because Northeast is a collection of 8 states. And there administrative, their social, and even the decentralized administration that is there is a unique thing that we are proud of. Within that structure, we need to build and reciprocate, provide assistance towards the institutional capacity. Because the social corporate responsibility as it is today in the Act, it is a such framework which has a very transparent and accountable mechanism. Corporates are responsible to amount a fixed expenditure, that is 2% of their profit earned beyond 5 crore rupees. Then that particular amount has to be reflected, incorporated in their P&L account. That means it has to be vouched for. Once it is incorporated, that will be audited. There is a CORA guidelines for the auditors. Auditors need to certify amount has been spent for the purpose it was meant. Then their CFO need to give a certificate to that account. And CSR Act and the rule provides if there is a failure, there is an obligation on both corporate as well as on the officers related, which is double the amount that has to be paid, which was to be spent, and then the similar 1/10 amount on the individual officers also. So probably this is a one very unique thing where one cannot run away from the responsibility. But then correspondingly that requires that what we provide, whosoever goes for spending in the Northeast, that he has that type of support. That whatever expenditure is coming either in the form of goods or the money or some sort of projects. CSR is primarily undertaken through projects. That has this type of accounting support at the grassroots level. Similarly, there is if the corporate is spending more than 10 crore rupees, then each project that is above 1 crore is to be evaluated for impact assessment. That again has to be done by the third party. So there again, institutional support is required at the ground level that can do this type. So this is a one practice that we can provide to the corporate to provide this thing. Another thing is like this very thing, like suppose we nurture accountants for accounting part of it. It is not merely accounting for the commercial purpose. It is, once you are accountant for all. You know, all of us are inherently accountant. When it comes to the family, when comes to our own personal affairs management, the financial elements, we all are accountant. So therefore, this rational, this common sense has to be grounded and provided a documentary support. This is infrastructure. I consider this as a part of infrastructure. Once we have it, then probably we provide a society which is responsive, which is accountable, and which owns the thing. Because whatever asset is created in the CSR, that also has to be transferred to a third party. That could be society, and that could be Section 8 company, but it has to be. It has to go out of that corporate hand. So, and in CSR, in the Ministry of MCA, we have created a CSR exchange portal, where we say, in the CSR, you can spend money in 3 ways. One is corporate can themselves spend, then or corporate can create a company, society, and spend it through these bodies and institutions, or they can find an implementing agency. Implementing agency is an agency which is expertise. As per our rules, they have to have a 3 years experience in that specific field. They must be registered with us in MCA through a CSR1 form, and they have to have some exemptions from income tax, Section 10, 12, and 80G. If they are registered there, this basically is accountability framework. Like if you are not with MCA, then at least some form you are being governed. Your income and your profit is being monitored. So if we work towards this, then definitely this is a watershed time, I would say, when this transformation is taking place, and I'm happy to witness it. And I'm sure this type of meetings, this type of interaction will further take it further build confidence in corporates as well as capacity in locals at the government level also, at the local government level also. So I'm really thankful to the organizers, and I'm grateful for CII's initiative because that shows the industry intent to giving me this opportunity. I all again express my gratitude and thanks to the organizers, and thanks to you all of you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Darwal, for your address and especially the advice and suggestion in terms of how to make the CSR project more impactful. And I have great pleasure now inviting our Secretary, Donor, Mr. Chanjal Kumar ji, for the keynote address. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Sri R. Mukundan ji, Vice President. Sri Pradeep Bagla ji. Sri Indradeep Singh Dhariwal ji. Sri Sujit Haridas ji. And all dignitaries present in the room, ladies and gentlemen. I thank CII for giving me this opportunity to speak about the CSR activities in Northeast. This has given me an opportunity to sensitize you regarding the issues of Northeast also. Let me tell you what are the challenges that we face in Northeastern region. 4% population, 8% area, out of which almost 65% is forest area. Mountainous, hilly terrain, which makes it difficult for any infrastructure project, or for that matter, any other program or policy to be implemented. It has an international border of 5,800 kilometers, which makes us plan on a strategic terms whenever we think of anything. Any small project can have a serious implication. A sparse population, as I said, if the area is 8% and the population is 4%, it means that per capita is half. It has challenges of having low indices on all human development indicators. And what is the result? The result is, because of these challenges, there are infrastructural gaps. There is uneven development, lack of livelihood opportunities, there are environmental concerns. You know the number of disaster events that we face in Northeast is much more compared to the rest of the country. There is low access to health, care and education. Now, what is it that we are doing to improve upon these factors? One of the mandate of Ministry of Donor, Development of Northeastern Region, is to ensure that all the ministries of Government of India, they do a minimum of 10% of their expenditure in Northeastern region. So we monitor 54 ministries and departments and ensure that whatever is their total budget, 10% of that goes to Northeastern region. So in the budget statement, there is a statement called Statement 11, in which all these 54 ministries or departments or organizations, they have to indicate what is the expenditure they are targeting to achieve in this financial year. And then we monitor. We talk to all the state governments, ministries and other stakeholders. In case there is any lack of progress in any of these schemes or projects, we try to ensure that this goes in a smooth manner. And what is the result? So this year, this target was 92,000 crore. We spent around 1,02,749 crore. What is the cumulative figure? In the last 10 years, this target was supposed to be around 5.15 lakh crore. And what is the achievement? we spent around 5.22 lakh crore, around 101.5%. So if you see, if you spend 1 lakh plus crore of rupee as public investment in Northeast in 1 year, this is bound to change the situation, change the ground situation. Now we are seeing it. If you see the connectivity, we construct more than 1400 kilometers of national highways in Northeast. 1 year, 1400 kilometers of new national highways. All the states are connected. In the last 10 years, from 9, we have gone to 17 airports. We have almost gone to the last mile connectivity for rail for each of these states. There's good connectivity of inland waterways. We are getting digitally connected. All these northeastern states, all these gram panchayats and village councils, we're in the process of connecting them 100% in the next 3 years. There are around 9,057 panchayats which we intend to connect in the next 3 years. So this has given us a very good background, a very good enabling atmosphere, ecosystem to absorb any CSR expenditure that we need to do there. But if you see in the last 8 years, what is the CSR expenditure? So if you go from the ministry's information from the website, we find that less than 1.8% of the total CSR expenditure is in Northeastern region. This is a low figure. We are trying to put or pump in 10% of the public investment, but this amount is low compared to the population proportionally also. The reason being, there are many reasons. One is, the companies want to spend in the local area, the areas in which they operate. And we know that there are less private sector investment in northeastern area, so there is a direct connection. Corporates prefer to execute projects which can be easily implemented. We know there are capacity constraints, there are programmatic challenges in northeastern area, so any project which you can execute in 1.5 years in rest of the country, maybe it will take you a couple of years or more. The working season is very less. You have only 5 or 6 months of working season for anything to do. The remaining time it is non-working season. And then there are capacity constraints. You do not have sufficient number of implementing agencies, so to speak, NGOs or the organizations which can execute one of your projects. So what is being done? Every state, I'm pretty sure in the next half or in the next technical sessions, other states will give you some of the data. Assam has created a CSR authority. Meghalaya and Nagaland, they had organized conferences, conclaves on CSR expenditure. Mizoram has developed a hand-holding, matchmaking CSR platform. So there is a systemic effort by all these states to attract CSR projects in these areas, and they are ensuring, and I'm pretty sure when you listen to all these states, they will give you the kind of comfort they are trying to project in terms of land acquisition, in terms of forest clearances, in terms of project execution, utility shifting, law and order. All the states are geared towards creating an ecosystem which makes it easier for any corporate body to implement a CSR project in northeastern region. What is it that we can do? What is the way forward? So we had a discussion with many of you companies and other stakeholders, state governments. Inderdeep was also there. Some of the issues which came up, I'll just briefly summarize. One was, can we think of a mandate, just like we have a mandate of 10% expenditure in CSR, can we think of similar small mandate? But then there were structural issues with that instead of mandating a company to spend part of it in northeastern area, it's good that we create that pull factor from the northeastern region, which means the state should be ready with investable projects. They should be able to give that sense of transparency and accountability so that the companies themselves pick these projects and go and execute in those states. So instead of mandating a company to do something by law, it is good that we ask state governments to be proactive and make sincere effort in making good investable projects in which CSR spend can be there. There was a talk about having a enabling platform in which if there is a high impact CSR intervention required, say for example a good cancer hospital, but the amount is so high that one company cannot execute it. So if there can be a good platform in Northeastern region so that 3-4 companies can come together and then execute it, then that will be a good system. We have to build the capacity of the NGOs. There are many non-governmental organizations in Northeast. There is a need that we constantly upgrade their capacity to execute these projects. In rest of the country, you have sufficient number of such implementing agencies, but in the north you will find less and less. So our effort has been to engage with the state governments and other ministries so as to see that capacity of those NGOs which are operating in this area, that increases, enhances, and they are able to take up much more work than they are possibly doing. And as I said, there should be a repository of investable projects. So every state should have somewhere listed that these are the projects which we think would be beneficial for us. Name of the project, what is the target beneficiary, what is the cost implication, what is the time frame, what is the output, what is the outcome, and how you can monitor. I am a company, I'd like to help you, but then I should be able to see where my money is going. So I should know the project where I am spending my money. I should also know that the project is getting executed efficiently. So there is efficient allocation of resources in the system. And when we talk about investable project, it is good that we have a strategic roadmap for the entire NER. We should not do things in bits and pieces. So if there is a gap in healthcare, access to healthcare, then we should plan in healthcare sector how we can take up how many projects in the entire country, particularly in the NER. And then based on that, we can take it in phase wise. So there should be a holistic roadmap, and based on that, we should point out which are the gaps which we should address on priority basis, remaining in the second sector. People felt that the district magistrates should also be made more responsible in a sense that most of these projects in the districts, he is the authority where it can be monitored, where people can go and say that I had spent some money in this school project, what is the status. So there should be a system in which district level functionaries are involved in monitoring the progress of these schemes. This is what we can do now. But the point is, why are we talking about this? Because there is less number of private sector infusion of fund in Northeastern region. So central government public fund is there, but private fund is not there. Hopefully because of good incentive policies, investment policies of the Northeastern region, now some investment is going there. Some big ticket items have been sanctioned by the central government. There is this Unnati scheme which will again give impetus to the movement of private fund in Northeastern region. So if more projects are there, more private sector presence is there in Northeastern region, then of course they will be spending the money there only, because for them that becomes the local area, that becomes the area where they would like to have that comfort of the masses, comfort of the people whom they are working with. So for that, many good investment policies are being framed or designed by the state government. We in DONA are also in the process of assisting and discussing with all the Northeastern states to design good sectoral policies, good investment policies. Assam has some very good policies. So if these policies are good, you will have better investment scenario. Once the private sectors go there, once they are present on the ground, we see a surge in the CSR expenditure by these companies, at least in that area. So that is a good way of doing things. So when the Prime Minister gave focus to Act East policy, we started investing public fund. We started making framework in which the private sector can also invest more fund in that area. There is a good enabling ecosystem. Now there is good connectivity. You can go up to the farthest point in Arunachal Pradesh if you want to go to Roing, Hunli, Anjani, or in the southernmost portion of Mizoram, Jurinpui. So connectivity is there. Rail, road, other connectivity. Access to healthcare and to education has also increased tremendously. So it is a good situation in which if today the private sector invests in CSR activities there will be good uptake, there will be more transparency, there will be better utilization, optimal utilization of the funds which they intend to use. So I exhort all the private sector companies, all the companies to come to Northeast, not only to invest, but also to engage with the state government and invest in these CSR projects. As I said, public investment will have its impact, but private investment of the same amount, it touches the lives of people much more vigorously. So as has been pointed out, the Minister Sahab also gave you some idea of what are the activities, what are the schemes which we have launched, which we have implemented, and we are seeing there is a positive turn of events. Did I mention that the GDP growth rate of Northeastern area is more than the average national growth rate for the last 8-9 years? Even though it contributes only 2.9% of the total GDP, but earlier it was much less. There is a good increase. So enabling system is all set. We need to, both public sector, private sector, we need to come together, invest in good, investable, high impact projects in the Northeastern region and see that the lives of the people become much more improved, much more better than what it is now. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Mr. Chanchal Kumar, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Donor, Government of India, Mr. Inderdeep Singh Dhariwal, Joint Secretary, Minister of Corporate Affairs, Mr. R. Mukundan, Vice President, Confederation of Indian Industry, Mr. Sujit Haridas Rao, Deputy Director General, CII, distinguished guests and friends of media. Good morning to all of you. I'm happy to be part of this gathering and this initiative, the Northeast CSR Connect. I'm personally very excited about this, and which I'm very sure will take a social development work in Northeast to a much greater scale and contribute to the economic growth of the region. So we had a first meeting in the chairmanship of Mr. Mukundan, and all the members were so passionate about Northeast, the stories they had, the projects they had, that it was completely, the room was full of energy. And the chairman, Mr. Mukundan, had to extend. Normally CII closes on time, but you had to extend the whole time. He could not stop that because there was so much of energy in the... So Northeast is that beautiful. It has got that, say, demographic diversity, the beauty of diversity, the beautiful people, and we are a land of a beautiful landscape and diversity. So when we touch upon a Northeast, then definitely it is, people have that passion to come forward and talk about that, and that itself, say, I think Mr. Mukundan extended his help to Northeast CSR for another 4-5 years. He told that I'll be, leading this for next 4-5. That's good of you, Mr. Mukundan. Thank you for that. Now, Northeast has got a lot of potential. the potential in people, the potential in, say, any resource you talk about, whether it is a natural resource, any resources. So we are here for unlocking those, say, potential today. And I'm very sure the way today the total, say, the inaugural session has happened, and everyone has, say, spoke about CSR, the spending in Northeast, the donor ministry, Mr. Chanchal was so nice to explain. So, my sincere thanks to Mr. Chanchal Kumar from Donia, Secretary Donia. Sir, we had discussion, if you remember, last month we had a discussion in your room. We had a small, say, representation from Northeast. So we heard Mr. Chanchal Kumar, and we were so happy about that, the knowledge and the passion he has about Northeast. He knows each and every corner of Northeast, every road leads to Northeast. So we are in the best hands. The Northeast is, I think the ministry has got the best secretary. And I hope, as you said, that so much of spending, that 10%, 110% spending has happened, 10% the government is allotted. But I think the departments have spent about 11%, each of the department. So you took us through that, what are the gaps of, say, CSR over there, and what are the challenges. So definitely, Northeast has got challenges. It has got the connectivity challenge. So it is difficult for any CSR project to come on time, and but the beauty is there. You have to choose a beauty, and then you have to take the challenge. It is adventurous. Definitely, the Northeast is adventurous. So thank you, sir, once again. I would like to thank Mr. Inderdeep Singh Dhariwal, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So, Mr. Dhariwal, you spoke about environment, sustainability, CSR, the importance of CSR, the framework which is required for a CSR to ensure that CSR happens, and what is the impact of CSR on the social economy. So that is, thank you again, Mr. Dhariwal. My special thanks to Mr. Mukundan. Your thought of working on the project is really commendable, and I think Sujit has been a great help to you. He has worked, I think, on your guidance only he has been able to, say, go so far. And thank you, Sujit Hardas, Deputy Director General CII, for putting together the thoughts in consultation with Mr. Mukundan. Thank you so much, Sujit. Thanks a lot. So we end this session, inaugural session, with I think a lot of knowledge to go forward and to end up with a very, say, fruitful, say, discussions. And we are now starting another session. By this end, we'll start another session. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Small memento from CII for all the dignitaries here. Just be seated. For a quick round of the exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you, esteemed panel of dignitaries and speakers, for that session. We would like to kindly announce that we will be having a small session tea coffee break, and we encourage all of the delegates present to please visit the exhibition room, which will be located in Jarkandra Hall, which is opposite this hall over here. And we kindly request everyone to make it back to this room for our second session at 11:15 sharp. Thank you.